Hi everyone. Um, I wanted to mention and comment on what's going on in regards to attacks being made on certain YouTubers, including myself, of course, always, as always is the case with Missy that unfortunate specimen who embodies actually everything that I consider substandard in a human being. And not to put too fine a point on things, psychopaths, although the word psychopath isn't used now, I think it's sociopath, which is psychopaths that sort of had a connotation whereby those with psychological problems could be confused with a sociopath, which is somebody with criminal tendencies, I would say. Somebody who acts out based on their reptilian brain. They haven't progressed from that lizard-like brain that's rattling around in their skull to the more refined and defined modern day person. As in what? As in majority of people. I believe that the majority of people are good. I believe that all people have a divine spark in them. However, I believe that in some people that divine spark is minimized because the lizard-like brain cannot comprehend it. They say that psychopaths are born something missing in the genetic pool. Then again, there are others who say that psychopaths, sociopaths, are a result of early trauma in childhood and learned behaviours along the way. I don't know. I mean, I think we're all a product, each of us, of a blend of the nature come nurture system. We can't be totally one or totally the other. However, having said that, there are these sociopaths whose lizard-like brain overcomes anything and everything that would make them even remotely a human being with empathy, with understanding, with love, with care, with compassion, with honesty, with diligence. And we see that, don't we, in regards to a few people on YouTube. And I'm making no bones about who I'm speaking of here. The woman who gladly rampages through YouTube, rampages through channels, and doesn't care about who she hurts in the process of spraying her lies and venom all over the place. Just doesn't care. No conscience whatsoever. As I say, lizard brain. Don't know what happened there. So this reptilian brain, although very primitive and very cold and very calculating, is also quite reasoning, is able to reason, is able to reason and take care of themselves in that they won't put themselves in harm's way. Very calculating. And the way these lizard-brained morons, sociopaths, I haven't got this camera right, have I? Is that better? Sorry, I can't hear you. And the way these lizard-brained reptilian sociopaths get some semblance of control is to make others fearful of him or her. To make people so fearful that they're frightened to speak, to voice their own opinions, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be written elsewhere, maybe newspaper, letters to the editor in newspapers, who knows, wherever. But the lizard-brained sociopath, you see, will spread this fear like a manure spreader, threatening legal action here, repercussions there, outing your private information somewhere else. And by using the fear that this generates, they're able to have some control over the situation. Well, let me tell you, Missy Moo, you've got no fucking control over me. You don't matter to me. You're nothing in my eyes, less than nothing. I think you're a sick individual and you've made yourself a complete and utter laughing stock on YouTube and elsewhere. I don't believe that you've ever broke links with Booty. I've said that all along. I believe that your fake argument over you giving $10 to French Fried Girl for BBJ, I believe that fake argument was set up purely to allow you both the freedom to operate separately without really having repercussions from what you've done or vice versa. And for there to be, this grand coming together when, oh joy, when the reunion is again and again set in motion. You've hit a new low, Missy Moo. You have used the absolute tragedy of the loss of a 10-week-old baby in order to generate a certain fear in a certain person. You haven't generated fear in her at all. Clearly it's caused some upset because she's a sensitive woman, not the sociopath who doesn't operate by reptilian standards, unlike you. Both Sharon and her husband were cleared of any wrongdoing. The chances are the child's mortality could have been compromised by the inoculations received. We all know that a certain jab is now being blamed for an increase in mortality. We took it as gospel that we should have our children inoculated. I did. But we've heard of cases where things went wrong. I read an article some while back where a doctor in the UK, she lost one of her own children and ascribed it specifically to the MMR jab. That was her speaking. But you see, you reptilian piece of shit, have taken it upon yourself to accuse this wonderful woman of abusing her own child, to accuse her husband of abusing his own child. How low can you go? Really? You know, comments and coming and disrupting live streams and emails that I've got and your stock accounts and all this nonsense. Photographs, doxing people's families. All of that is wrong. And you might consider that people, you know, it's not infinite, this reticence to fight like we like. Be awful, wouldn't it, if your own family were attacked? I think you're labouring under a misconception. People have no more patience with you. Everybody sees you for what you are. You're not wanted in this community. You never were. And neither is your great friend and confidant, Foodie Beauty, welcome anymore, even though she considers herself to be the queen of Girl World. There are other candidates, more interesting, and I exclude you. I don't know what sort of treatment there could be for somebody who is just so damaged psychologically that her default to go to when anything in her world is not kowtowing to her and kissing her fat ass is to fall back on this reptilian lizard brain, to cold-heartedly go ahead and do the dirty work. I'm not sure what the treatment would be. I'm not sure whether a jab has been researched for that. There you go. Maybe you could offer your services as a guinea pig or a moo cow. Because from what I see, you have no purpose. You have no purpose in this world. You have no purpose in this community. You have no friends. You have nothing to fall back on except your own ugly behaviour. That old reptilian brain that never lets you down, that lets you forge right ahead with all your nasty, underhand business. You're disgusting, beyond disgusting. And by the way, for your information, reptile, I never said there were people in my garden. No. I said there were emails. One stating, actually I was here with one of my kids at the time when it came through. One stating, look in your garden, I think somebody's lurking. And of course I didn't take any notice of it. And then there was another one stating, look out of your window at 3 AM in the morning, which of course I didn't. Why would I? Do you think at this time in my life I've got any fear whatsoever of physical harm or anything happening to me? I don't. No. I believe that I will leave this earth when God calls me. You see, unlike you, reptile, I do believe in God. I believe in the Almighty. And I believe also that the Almighty will work, maybe, through somebody in this community who is going to slap your fat ass back where you belong, in a cage, behind bars, with the birds. Tweet, tweet.